Alright folks, we're on the start of another walk. No snakes yet, but we've got a golden orb weaver with a very large meal. Pretty intense stuff. A gruesome start to our walk. Check back in if we find something a little bit more slithery. Okay folks, we're out for another night, and just along this wall we have a very pretty juvenile many-banded krait. So this is the most toxic snake in Hong Kong, and its head's a little bit hidden so I can show you a little bit of scale down by the tail here, but this is a very newly hatched snake, maybe a month or so old, but this is the time of year for hatchlings, so not too surprising to see this, and this is actually one of the reasons we came out tonight, hoping for more hatchlings. So let this one get on its way, not mess with it, and keep on moving. And check back in with you guys if we find something else. Alright, we've got our next snake of the night, and it's one we've seen before, and Hong Kong's smallest snake species, as you can see here. This is the Brahminy blind snake, or common blind snake. Definitely one of the more populous species around this area, but as you can see, very diminutive, and as its name indicates, quite common. So let this guy get on his way and we'll keep going and check back in if we get something else. Alright folks, we've got something pretty fun here. It is a large female bamboo pit viper that just came down from kind of a cliff and treed area and is on the move. Actually kind of heading in our direction right now. There's actually a chain link fence between us and her right now, but it looks a little bit like foraging behavior. I imagine she's just slithering out to set up somewhere where she can ambush hunt for the evening, but kind of cool to be able to watch her move around. So we're probably just gonna hang out here for another minute and see what she does, and then we will start to make our way out. Alright, well, this bamboo pit viper has made it to the other side of the road and is about to head over the edge and set up out of the way of foot traffic. So we're going to go ahead and leave her to her night, but very cool to be able to observe this. Alright folks, we are out again, and we've got our first snake of the evening, and this time it's the tried and true bamboo pit viper. You can see here, this one's set up really nice in ambush, and it looks like we've got a very decent sized male this time, and pretty cool looking. This one has darker colored eyes. Sometimes you get that by a different locality. And I can't overemphasize how very characteristic this position and setup is of this species. And one of the things that's worth note here is this is facing toward the path that people walk on. It's a pretty narrow path as well. So you can see how it is that these snakes are responsible for almost all of the venomous snake bites here in Hong Kong. If you were walking down this path without proper footwear or leg wear, without a flashlight and not paying attention, and you were walking too close to the rail, this snake could very innocently take a bite out at your toe walking by as it thinks it's a gecko or some other prey animal walking underneath its strike range. So very cool first spot of the night. We've had some of our first rains for a while as well, so I'm optimistic that we're going to have a good session here. But bamboo to start, not too shabby. We'll check back in with the next one. Alright folks, just a little ways down the path, we've got our next snake of the night. It's a tried and true many-banded krait, and it's just out on the crawl, no doubt looking for a meal. And I think it's probably on the wrong side to get to that bamboo viper, which is good for the bamboo viper. But we've seen these before, and as you remember, they're usually pretty happy just to move around leisurely, even if you're standing right next to them. I think this one got wind of us. Quite literally, the wind is blowing from our backs towards it, and I think it got a whiff, and it's looking to make a move away. So this is about as agitated as they get without you touching them. And you can see it's still pretty measured exit that it's making. But always a fun snake to see. I'd be surprised if we don't see maybe one or two more of these before the night is done. But great that we can show you this one. We'll keep it going, and we will check back in if we find something else. Alright, we've got our third snake for the video, and actually the fourth snake we've seen. This is the third bamboo viper. There was another that I couldn't really get a good shot of, but this one is also set up in ambush, looking a little bit thin, so I'm not going to get too close and stress it out. I'm actually going to walk away and get the light off it real quick here, but just wanted to make sure we stopped and showed you guys first. So snake number 4, looking like it's going to be a productive evening so far. Alright, we'll keep it quick, but we have yet another bamboo viper. And we're kind of doubling back on our first little stretch of path here. So this one came out within probably 5 or 10 minutes since we walked by last time. So it's looking like it's getting to be the snaky time of the evening, and seems to be a pretty productive evening at that. I'll leave this one to its ambush setup, and we will check back in if we find something else. Alright folks, we've got our next snake of the night, and this is actually a first for me, but it looks like a common wolf snake out on a branch, hanging out on some leaves. So I imagine it must have slithered out hunting some prey item, but I've never really seen them up on a leaf like this, so this is pretty cool observation for me as well. And yeah, I guess our third species for the night. We got many bandids, bamboos, and now common wolves. So all of the most frequently encountered species checked off the list right at the beginning. Hopefully that means there's some other cool species in store for us, but very, very interesting find. It heads off that way, so not really sure if it's resting or eating or what, but we'll watch this for a minute. If anything cool happens, we'll pop back on. Otherwise, we will get off to finding the next one. Alright folks, we've got our next snake just on this wall here. This is a juvenile redneck keelback. We've seen these on the vlog before. As mentioned, they are a venomous and poisonous snake. They can excrete poison through a groove on the top of their neck, and they are rear fang venomous. Technically the venom's quite potent, but they're not really very aggressive, and they really have to get a good bite on you to envenomate. So generally speaking, not a very concerning snake, but as juveniles they have this great bright coloration. Nice bright red, yellow collaring, and the gray head. They'll drab out a little bit as they get older, but when they're young they're pretty cool. Well, we're gonna keep going. We're headed out now, so not sure how much more we'll find, but keep you posted if anything else comes up.